That's how we started right there.
We are channeling Taylor Swift. Channeling Taylor Swift. Okay. Anyways.
We just meditated ourselves into Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is in the room with us.
She is, even though she has moved on from the Brits, and I'm still talking like she hasn't.
So long, London, she says. What?
Sorry, work phone, guys.
What's happening? What's happening? Live action of what it's like to be a therapist.
Yes, what it's like to be a therapist. One of my clients got some really good news, and she couldn't wait to share it with me until next week. So
we love that. That's a good thing.
I'm so happy.
That was a good jaw drop. Yeah.
Yeah. I just got a message, so I had to look at it. But anyways, okay.
We're ready to go.
Yay for my client. You guys don't get to know anything.
You guys don't know anything about anything, but it's good news.
It's good news. Yeah. Well, welcome back to Verified Therapist.
We're back.
It feels like it's been a minute, but it kind of hasn't. It's just a different day.
Yeah. We're recording in the evening time after we've lived a whole life.
Yes. We've lived multiple lifetimes since the last time we talked to you guys. We usually record on Sundays, and we're recording on a Tuesday. And Vanderpump Rules actually starts in 3 minutes. But we will watch that later.
And then recap it for you guys on Sunday.
Yeah. We usually record on Sundays, but this Sunday I was recovering from the Olivia Rodrigo concert, and I didn't have a voice.
Which is kind of important for a podcast. And I was recovering from just existing, I guess, because I had a migraine that wouldn't quit.
Yeah.
Made me physically sick.
You can't record a podcast when you have a migraine. Especially with the ring light. I couldn't imagine you trying to record with a ring light in front of you. Ooh.
I was going to try, but now that I'm looking at it, I'm ooh, I probably would have 100% gotten sick. So
yeah, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So we both decided it was best to not record the podcast that day.
Yeah.
We were going to push through, but we couldn't.
We could not. We couldn't. We couldn't find it in our soul.
Especially, yeah, I did not sound good. I still don't sound good, but this is allergies now, not screaming so loud you lose your voice.
Not Olivia. This isn't Olivia's fault. Don't take it personally, Olivia.
Yeah, please don't take it personally. But she did ask us during All American Bitch to scream as loud as we could. So
it's maybe a little bit your fault, but it's
a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It was so fun. It was so therapeutic. So.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Let's get into the highs and lows for the week. You want to start us out?
Yeah. So my high of the week is Touch of Chaos came out today. Yeah.
So excited.
I'm excited.
I'm going to go buy it. I'm going to buy it on Friday.
I'm excited for it. So it's a book. It's the fourth installment. Well, it's not actually the fourth one, but the fourth one that I've read of the Touch of Darkness series. And I'm on Touch of Malice right now. So that's the one before this one.
Dang, you're flying through these books.
Hades side of it. So
yeah,
I don't read the other books, but anyway, so that came out today, and I'm so excited to work my way through. I actually have been reading them so much that I've been having dreams that I'm a god.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking you're flying through these books.
I'm flying through. It was a slow start on Touch of Darkness. I was I don't really know, and then something happened, and I was off, and then I was in it. So, and I flew through Touch of Ruin. So that's my high. I'm excited about that book.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be, it's the last book in the installment.
Mm-hmm.
So she said she's like closing it out with this one. So I'm I'm excited, but also I always dread it. Like, I'm currently reading the last book of A Throne of Glass series. And let me tell you, I'm like 20% into this book, and it is already like wrecking me. I know that A Touch of Chaos is going to wreck me.
It's sad. It's so sad. But, it's made me like really I don't want to say hyperfixate, but like really kind of look up the Greek mythology stuff. Because a lot of it's really cool, like to just read about and hearing the stories and things like that. So I've been kind of like looking into that stuff too as I've been reading. So, but it's hard saying bye to a series that you've been reading.
Yeah, it's a really interesting series. It's very educational on the Greek mythology.
Yeah, they'll like mention somebody in the book, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. I've not heard of them, and like I'll have to like go and look up like the background and their story and stuff. But it's good if you need a series to read. Pick that one.
They also have like not just like the Greek gods and everything, but they have different like Greek mythology events that take place in the book that are really cool. It's like Greek mythology set in modern times.
Right.
So, and the Greek gods are essentially like the celebrities.
Yes, which is like what I said. Like, I think that's why we like it so much, because that's our vibe. So we're here for it.
They are the pop culture people.
Of the time. So that's my high. My low was probably having my migraine, because that was god awful. I hate having it. Like, I would much rather have like a sore throat. I would almost rather have stomach stuff happen than like have a headache. I hate having headaches. So when I got my migraine, I was just like, this is not for me. I was in bed like 90% of the day. Didn't eat anything, just got sick and stayed in bed unless I was walking my dog, and that was it. Yeah.
Oh, Maxie boy. The only reason why you got up.
Yeah, because he does not stop for anyone. So
did you get like what do they call it? Like a moon effect, like over your eye, like where half your vision like blurs out?
No, I don't think so. I don't think. Thank God for that, because I probably would have gone to the hospital, because that would have scared me to death. But that would have scared me. But I got like super dizzy and super nauseous when I would like get up to take Max out, or I did get up and like try to take like a hot shower and see if that helped in the dark, and it helped a little bit to have the hot water, but like I was dizzy the whole time. So I was like, I'm going to pass out in the shower and die in here. Nobody's going to know.
Only Max.
Only Max will know, and he'll be like, what the heck is going on? So
he'll just be poking you like, Mom, it's dinner time.
I gotta go outside. So you have my location. So if like I don't respond to you in like a reasonable amount of time, send somebody. Help. Send
somebody.
Yeah.
I'll just like show up at the house. Just be like, what are you doing?
Wrong. Something's wrong.
Let me in, Max.
Let me in. What were your highs and lows of the week?
Well, I want to start off with the low of the week.
Okay.
The low of the week has probably been seeing like 6 patients in a row.
That's so draining.
It was a lot. And it was like a lot of like heavy stuff too. Yeah. So don't do that to yourself. If you don't have to, as a therapist, don't do it to yourself. That was my bad. I accidentally scheduled that many people, and I almost scheduled a 7th person that day. And then I looked at my schedule and I said, I'm sorry. It probably wouldn't be in my best interest to schedule you this day or your best interest. So I'm going to, let's do another day.
Everyone like be easy on your therapist if they say something like that, because that probably means that like they have a day of like full people, and it feels like you ran a marathon after that happens. Like mentally your brain is like melted.
Yeah. It really is. Like, I was going to read last night. I didn't have the mental capacity to read. I literally made food when I got home and then was just like sitting in bed watching TikToks until I fell asleep. And then even then my brain wouldn't fully shut off because it was like very, very wired from seeing that many clients. So I had to take my magnesium. And then I told you I took a melatonin, and the melatonin that I took also has lavender and chamomile in it. And I was out, completely out. I didn't think I was going to wake up this morning. It was too much. Don't ever do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have just taken like half of the melatonin.
Do as we say, never as we do.
Yeah. Well, my high for the week was going to the Olivia Rodrigo concert. So I know I talked about that because I was in the running for like winning the radio show contest and everything, but I didn't win. And then at like 5 something, I saw on the Instagram that the radio show was set up in front of Bridgestone and they were giving away tickets. And I was like, you know what?
YOLO.
I was like, I'm going. So I called Jamie. Shout out to Jamie, who was so down for this.
Shout out to Jamie.
She was the one, like, we've been talking about it for months now that we're going to this concert, even though we didn't have tickets.
Yeah.
And guys, just manifest it, you know, just do that. And we talked about it. So we had our outfits ready. So we just like threw on our clothes, got in the car, drove to Nashville. We get like halfway there and we find tickets, floor seats. And we're so excited. Yeah. And then I do my makeup in a parking structure. Because when I say we literally just threw on our clothes and ran out the door, and you can see it in the pictures and videos that I have, like I half-assed did my makeup and I like ran a brush through my hair. That was it. That's all I had time for.
That's all it's needed. That's all it's needed.
Yeah. I mean, you get like super sweaty at those concerts anyways because they're so high energy. But we got there. Let's see, we parked at 7:40. I did my makeup. We got into Bridgestone at like 8:10 and we were in our seats by like 8:15. With like drinks, I've already used the bathroom, ready to go. Yeah. In our seats, and she goes on at 8:30.
Manifest it.
Just in time to see her. And it was so much fun. Like, that was probably one of the funnest concerts I've ever been to. Like, people were just dancing and screaming. And she went on like this, like, she had this little moon and she went like over top of us. And while she was over top of us, she like sat there and sang like a full song. And then at one point she looked down at this dude that was like to our left and waved at him and like pointed at him and waved and everything. Yeah. He screamed so loud. I thought he was going to pass out. He was so happy. It was so cute. She sang the song that she did for the Hunger Games. She announced it like, is anyone a fan of the Hunger Games? And this girl beside us hit the floor. Like, just we hear smack. And I was like, oh my God, we all look over. And it was just this girl, she was like freaking out. She like jumped up and then like squatted down really quick. But we thought she passed out. Like, security was coming. God. Like everybody thought that there was a dad behind us. Like, we all thought she passed out. But no, she was like, I'm good. We were like,
okay, girl. Well, we're glad you're okay.
We're so glad you're okay.
Yeah.
That was not a reaction that I was expecting.
Yeah.
I also looked at Jamie during that and I was like, I was literally reading the Hunger Games before probably majority of these people were even born.
Yeah, because they're all babies. But Olivia Rodrigo is so good. Like, I don't.
Yeah, she is so good, and also I know she's got like kids. A lot of kids are a big fan of hers, but I mean, that show wasn't necessarily that kid friendly. Like,
right.
I mean, almost every single one of her songs has at least 3 F words in it. So
yeah.
I don't know. She's 21. She sang a song that she hasn't released yet. I don't think she's released it yet. It's called Obsessed.
Is it good?
Oh my God. It is so good. She's got to release it.
Release it, Olivia.
Release it now. But if you want to hear Olivia's song Obsessed, just go see her on tour. I think she'll be in St. Louis tonight. So if you want to get
if you want to head out now, you might make it and put your makeup on in the parking garage. Get 4 seats.
See, that we're lucky that we live so close to Nashville that we're able to do something like that, like last minute.
Yes.
Decide to go to a concert. And you know, you never know, like, because the closer you get to concert time, the less the ticket price is.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we really
that's how I got my Eras tickets. Like I had said on the, when they first came out and Ticketmaster broke, I did all of that, went through all that, could not get tickets. 2 weeks before the Eras show, I get a text from Ticketmaster that's like, we have a new verified fan, like, thing going on. So, like, sign in to get them. And I was like, I'm probably not going to get any, but whatever. Was literally on my lunch break. And I was like, there's no way, but I'll sign in, whatever. I get on there. There's no wait at all. And I was like, okay, whatever. Still not going to get any. I literally get on there and look at 2 seats and they're like $150 a piece. For like, it was third level, but I mean, there was, we were in the very front row of the third level. So there was nobody in front of us, no obstruction of the view at all. And I literally called my best friend, Jessica, and I said, she picks the phone and she said, I'm in the Panera drive-thru. Hold on 1 second. And I said, I can't hold on 1 second. You need to listen. Like, do you want to go to Taylor Swift with me? Because I need to know now to press buy now.
Like, this isn't a hold on type situation. This is, you need to answer me in this moment.
Yes, I need to know now. Because I was going to buy those tickets and I don't care who went with me. Somebody was going to go with me. But like, so that's how it usually, like, last minute, you can find some tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, we literally bought the tickets like 15 minutes before the opener came out.
Yeah.
And we weren't even there yet. We I don't even think we had crossed into Tennessee yet.
Yeah.
Or maybe we had. I don't know. But she was like, I got him. And we started freaking out. And then I had like a panic mode because we got them from StubHub. And like, there's always a chance that those are
not good. Yeah.
Not real tickets. So I was kind of panicking. And so we like put it up to the ticket reader and it turned green. And then I was like, whew.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Literally, I buy them from Ticketmaster and I'm still scared. Like, I get them from Ticketmaster and I still go up to the thing and I'm like, I hope everything's okay. And then it turns green and I'm like, okay, we're fine.
Yeah. I do that too. I get like really bad concert anxiety. And so like before the Taylor Swift concert, my friend Courtney, who hopefully will listen to this, she can attest to this. Before we went like the first night, I was having like panic attack mode. Like I was running around the hotel room, not able to function. I was like, we got to get there like 3 hours before. We got to get to downtown, like all this stuff. And she was like, we have time. Like, we can slow down. We can do this.
Right.
It's like 4 o'clock. Like, let's slow down. And I was just like, no, we gotta get there.
Because
miss it.
Because I think, especially with Eras Tour, it feels like such an event, and it is. Like, I mean, you get dressed up in whatever way you want to. The lines are insane. Like, you get there and it's an all-day thing. I can totally see like how that would cause you anxiety, because you do feel like, I feel like that the Eras Tour was very organized, and I wasn't expecting it to be like that. Like, as far as getting in and getting out, like, I was expecting it to take us hours to get in and find somewhere to park. And then, even though I had like the parking pass, whatever, I was expecting like hours to get out. And it wasn't great getting out, but it wasn't horrible. So like, I was kind of the same way, where I was like, oh, this is going to be a whole thing. We're going to be standing in line for 2 hours just trying to get in. No. So thank God for that. But I get where your anxiety comes from, because I get like the same way.
This time around, I just kind of was like, we're gonna make it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
If I like half-ass do my makeup, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah.
This is for the experience. This isn't for anything else. So, and it was a really good experience. And then later on, I found out that Candace King, you know, she played Caroline on the Vampire Diaries. She was there with her
At the
kids.
one in Nashville?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I was like very upset that I didn't see that.
Yeah.
While I was there.
Would have died. You did see Sheryl Crow though, so
I did see Sheryl Crow, and I told you I manifested that because I watched Crossroads the night before. And
I love Sheryl Crow. I love that song. It's like one of my top 20 songs.
I got very inspired by our topic last week of like talking about Britney Spears. So I watched Crossroads, and then I watched Never Say Never on Saturday, which also I think fueled me wanting to go to a concert, which was why I impulsively did that.
I've been dying to go to a concert. I've been like scoping out some concerts. The other night I did. So
you got one coming up in May, right?
I have Noah Kahan in May.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So, and that's in Nashville.
Maybe I'll get tickets.
We're gonna manifest you getting some tickets.
Yeah, I literally had it like the Olivia Rodrigo concert written in my planner.
Yeah.
On Saturday. Even though I didn't have tickets.
Listen, we're big fans of manifesting on this podcast.
So we're going to start off with a recap of Vanderpump Rules.
What an episode. We all went to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, they're at Lake Tahoe. Supposed to be a good old time. And Tom Sandoval should have never been invited, first of all. He just shouldn't be there. Nobody wants him there besides Schwartzy.
I like to differ that Sheena also wants him there. She just won't come out and say it.
Sheena's getting that camera time.
Sheena.
I'll say that.
Sheena, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So, for those of you who haven't watched Vanderpump Rules, Sheena, we've talked so much shit about Sheena, and honestly, rightfully so. Like, I feel like a lot of her tactics are very manipulative. I agree with Nick Viall. I think her and Brock rehearse scenes together.
Yeah.
I think that they play up a lot of things for the cameras, which I think they show like relationship issues to make themselves look entertaining and to get camera time. And which is really sad and really horrible. But I mean, that's just like my own personal prediction. I don't know. I could be very wrong. But I don't see a lot of their interactions being genuine with other people. I think they're very planned out. So in the episode, Sheena is paired with Tom during this kind of like meditation session, and they have to be back to back to each other. And when they're back to back, like this person is talking about like, if you're not feeling good, like let it be known that you're not feeling good. If you're uncomfortable, let it be known that you're uncomfortable. So Sheena just starts sobbing, partly because she is paired with Tom Sandoval. And instead of talking to him about her feelings at first, she just kind of like runs away very dramatically. And this is where I understand that Sheena and Tom were friends for 14 years. And I understand the like rift that she has of like, I want to be friends with Ariana, but also like this person was also my friend for 14 years. I get that. But also like chicks before dicks, like please.
Yeah.
You are not a girl's girl. Like he did something so despicable, and the person, because he is a narcissist, like, and Ariana said this too, whoever you were friends with was not real. Like, that was not the real...
He doesn't exist.
Person. He doesn't exist. He is just this, like, made-up, fabricated person. Whatever image he has put up front for you. Like,
100%. Yeah.
And she's real. Like, I don't understand Sheena's dilemma here. Like, why would you want to be friends with someone who could lie to and manipulate an entire group of people? That's not
just grieve the loss of that friendship and move on.
Yeah. For her to call Ariana too and be crying and just like, I don't know, that whole conversation made me so uncomfortable and I was cringing the entire time.
Does she expect Ariana to be like, yeah, like, go be friends with Tom Sandoval? No, she's not going to be like that. Nobody would be like that. So I'm not really understanding. It's almost like when she has these conversations with Ariana, she's doing it for permission. Like, she's wanting Ariana to say, go ahead, go be friends with him, and you can also still be friends with me.
Yeah.
Ariana doesn't want that. And you know what? I don't blame her. People can say that she's petty, but I think about, for Ariana, and she said this, it's, I don't want him to have access to my life in any way. And I relate to that. You know, when I'm done with people, I don't want them to have access to my life. I don't want you to know what's going on. I don't want you to know anything about my job, anything about my personal life. I don't want you to know anything. So, and Sheena would freely share that with Tom Sandoval, 100% if they were friends.
For sure.
So, and Ariana's not stupid. She knows that. So I think Sheena really needs to get a clue. That's what I think. Like, I think it's attention-seeking behavior. I think it's selfish. And I do think, you know, that Sheena has to make everything about her.
Yes.
I don't even think it's like editing, twisting that. It's every word that comes out of her mouth is, but what about what this did to me? And I'm like, you're, again, like we said before, your feelings are valid, but they're secondary here.
Yeah. Did I send you, or did you send me the TikTok?
Yes. Yeah. The rings of support. Yeah.
Yeah. That, and then also, did I send you the TikTok of Sheena being like, I've never been the number one girl in the group. No one's ever heard anything about, like, me. Nothing's ever been about me.
Yeah, everything's about you and your world.
Yeah, and the video shows so many different times. Like, there was her, they showed her engagement party. 2 weddings.
2 weddings. 2 weddings.
2 weddings were televised for you, Sheena. Get real.
Your engagement was televised, like your first one.
5 minutes of footage of Sheena making it about herself. And, like, I mean, when Jax and Tom Sandoval got into that fight, that was at Sheena's engagement party, right? Like, all of her birthdays have been televised. Like, all of her birthday parties. Good as Gold. She was literally on a float for Pride,
singing that ridiculous song
as Gold.
Yeah,
through the streets of West Hollywood.
Which we're sorry to the streets of West Hollywood, by the way, because it's a terrible song. I'm sorry you had to listen to it.
Yeah, like, what do you mean nothing is about you? Get real, please.
I feel like that she feels like that because she's never been, like, the central character. Like, you know, in the beginning seasons it was Stassi, and now it's Ariana because of what's happened. But what she wants everybody to say, like, this is part of the reason that you're not a central character.
Yeah.
People don't like this, and you flip-flop. You're a flip-flopping friend.
Her telling that story that she was having financial issues and she woke up one morning and there was money in her bank account because Tom Sandoval had sent her money. I think that that's a wonderful thing that Sandoval did. But also, I think because he's a narcissist, the reason why he did that was for this purpose right now. Was if he ever did something wrong in the future, that he could be like, I sent you money when you were at your lowest, and this is how you're going to treat me? There's always with narcissists, there's these love-bombing gifts so that they can use those gifts later on against you.
That's what I was going to say. In the cycle of abuse, there's literally a period of time. There's the honeymoon phase where everything is great and they are getting you gifts and they are doing these things. That does not mean that they are not an abusive or narcissistic person.
Yeah.
that does not negate a 7-year affair on your best friend. Like, that doesn't make it, thank you for doing that, but now I don't even trust your intentions. And you know what, if I was Sheena, do you want me to Venmo you that money back?
Yeah.
Because here you go, like, you can have it back and then done, you know? Well, I heard a story come out that said that the reason that he was on tour after all this happened was because he was broke. And then he also said, so Ariana came out and said that the reason that she did not take his offer for $3.1 million on the house is because the house was never appraised. Tom Sandoval just came out with that number and gave that to her. So this house could be appraised for $12 million and he's trying to get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that makes more sense to me now.
I also heard that, like, she never got that number. Like, he only gave her, like, $250,000 or something. It was, it was like a low number.
Yeah.
That he presented to her. And then he went off and told all these people that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He has a really good track record with being honest. So.
Yeah. Very good track record.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, one good thing that has come out this past week in the Vanderpump Rules world is Lala is pregnant with her second baby.
Yay!
I'm so happy for her because this is something that, like, we have heard her talk about, and I don't know if you listen to her podcast.
I do some, yeah.
Yeah. She talks about wanting a kid.
Yeah.
She has talked about this forever, for years, about wanting a second kid. And I saw a clip today of the episode that's premiering right now.
Yeah.
Of her talking to Lisa about getting a sperm donor. Because she doesn't want a baby daddy. She doesn't want a relationship in her life. She just wants another baby.
Yeah.
And she has the support system. Like, she has her mom. She has Easton, which is her brother. Like, she has her friend Julia. Like, she has all these people in her support system to help her out and help her raise this kid. She doesn't need a baby daddy.
Right.
That's what she feels like.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Good for her. Woman power on that. You don't need a man to have a baby. You don't need a man to raise a baby. So good on her for that. She's got the resources. She's got the support. Go for it, sister.
Yeah. So I'm so happy for her. And she looks so cute pregnant. This weekend, she was at, whose birthday party was it?
Was it Summer's?
Summer Moon's?
Oh, Summer Moon's. And we're back to Sheena. But yes.
We're back to Sheena.
Yeah. Nothing's about Sheena.
This is about Summer Moon, not you, Sheena. Anyways. I think it was.
I think it was too.
But Stassi's kid was there, Hartford, and then Lala's baby with Randall was there, Ocean, yeah. I wonder what this baby is. Is this baby going to be a boy or girl?
And I want to know the name.
I do too.
Always want to know the name, because they are always very unique names.
Speaking of pregnancies too, Vanessa Hudgens is also pregnant, and
good for her.
Right now, we predict it's a girl.
We do predict it's a girl. I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
And if my feeling's wrong, don't come for me, because my feeling's not been wrong on a lot of things, so don't say anything about it. But I just have a feeling. Yeah,
Dumois was like hinting around at that a few weeks ago, and I was like, no. Yeah. She's not pregnant.
And she's like pregnant. Like,
yeah.
She's not like 2 weeks pregnant. She's like, I don't know how far along she is, but when she hit that red carpet, she's pregnant.
She's like, if she's not already in the 3rd trimester, she has to be like pushing it.
Close, yeah. Yeah. She is a honeymoon baby for her. So
she looks so good too. And then she like changed outfits, and I was like, girl.
She's gorgeous. I love Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes.
I don't really know. I don't know what's going on with her and Ashley Tisdale, but
I don't either. You know, last week on Watch What Happens Live, Ashley Tisdale was on there, and Andy asked her, like, what's going on with your friendship? And she was like, I mean, nothing's happened. It's just, I'm a mom now. I don't really have time for a lot of friendships. But then also, Ashley Tisdale is really good friends with Austin Butler. So I think that might have something to do with it.
I think that that's part of it. Because, you know, they had that award show after Austin and Vanessa had split up.
Mm-hmm.
And they passed each other and didn't even acknowledge. So...
Yeah. I don't think they ended on good terms. Like, Austin and Vanessa were together for what, like 8 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 8 or 9 years.
A long time.
Yeah.
And rumor has it that he was not faithful that entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they ended on good terms.
Yeah.
And it seems like Ashley picked a side and it wasn't Vanessa's side.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Chicks are dicks, people.
Yeah.
But
be a girl's girl. I am a girl's girl until you're not a girl's girl, then I'm not your girl's girl anymore. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I will defend any woman against a man, but I will not defend any woman against another woman if you're not a girl's girl.
That is true.
So,
yeah. We don't know, but we don't know what happened. Maybe Vanessa did something to Ashley,
we don't know.
And we don't know. We don't know. That's the whole thing with, like, celebrity gossip. We don't know.
Yeah, but that's why we're just on here spewing our nonsense, because we don't know. So yeah,
we're just yapping.
We're just maybe that's what the title needs to be. We're just yapping. Just yapping.
Well, to go off of kind of like the Vanderpump also, the Valley premieres on the 19th. And we got another trailer. And this trailer shows that Jax and Brittany, this whole season of the Valley is going to be a lot of marital issues between every single couple on there, first of all. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. We might end up watching the Valley. We were haters for a second, but we might end up watching it.
I think we're going to be watching it because holy, that is so good. Anyway. Yeah. Didn't Kristen was just like, I'd rather be on Vanderpump Rules. I was like, girl, no.
Kristen, please. The first trailer where she was like, I just can't even be around these people. She was like crying, and I thought, we are back. I'm having a flashback to 2012, Kristen.
Oh, Kristen Doty. This also showed that Jax might be, doing Jax things, like sneaking around on Brittany. She said she doesn't feel like he's attracted to her, like they don't have sex, all this stuff. First of all, how homegirl could marry him after he was taking a shit with the door open in that tiny ass apartment that they had with camera crews in there? Like, okay, one thing if it's just you and your partner,
right?
But there's an entire crew of people in this apartment. That's like pretty much, it's literally just like a studio apartment. That's like a room, a bathroom, and then a kitchen. Yeah. And he's taking a shit with the door open.
Not to mention he also cheated on her, but that's...
Yeah.
And there was a recording of it, but yeah.
He just does like the stupidest stuff. They were also in Lexington this past weekend, which was...
And so was Schwartz.
Yeah, Lil Schwartzy was there. And James Vanderbeek.
I saw James Vanderbeek was also there. Big Dawson's Creek fan, but what the heck? What's going on? What's going on at Comic-Con?
Yeah. And Priscilla Presley was there too.
What?
Yes! You
better shut up.
Kristen Doty posted a picture with Priscilla Presley.
Now that's two things you don't hear. Like two people you don't hear.
No.
Being next to each other.
What? Anyway.
Kristen, don't taint Priscilla with your Kristenness.
With your dotiness.
With your dotiness.
Keep it away.
Keep it away from her.
But yeah, they were in Lexington for Comic-Con, and yeah, I wish we could have gone. That would have been fun.
That would have been fun. We need to be on the lookout.
Yeah. Maybe they'll hit up Nashville and we can go.
Here's my pledge to the podcast to be a better podcaster at this. We need to be on the lookout for things like that and attend. So we have
fun.
content. Yeah.
And Jax and Brittany were there. Apparently, like, word from Dumois, from what I saw, was they were on the plane together. No, this wasn't Dumois. Never mind.
I know what you're talking about, though, because I heard it.
Yeah. So word from, like, some random TikToker that was on the plane.
I just like how legit it sounds. Like, from TikTok.
From this random TikToker that was on the plane with Jax and Brittany. They have photo evidence that they were on the plane with Jax and Brittany.
They do, yeah.
So they just said, like, they were interacting with their kid the whole time, and they were super sweet with their kid. It sounded like a really wholesome experience, and they weren't really interacting with each other, just the kid. So believe the rumors that they are not together right now. And they are really just there for their kid, which I think is really awesome that they're working together. And I hope
it's commendable.
They can co-parent. I hope that they can co-parent good together, because we all know how Jax is. We've seen Jax over the years. People thought he had changed when he met Brittany, and then he cheated on Brittany with Faith. So for those of you who obviously haven't watched Vanderpump Rules, to go back to Jax and Brittany, they met in Vegas. He brought Brittany to LA and pretty much, like, just kept inviting her because she lived in Lexington at the time, right? Was it Lexington? Yeah, she lived in Lexington, and so he was just, like, flying her to LA all the time. And then eventually he was like, just move here and let's get a place together. So she moves here. She packs up her whole life and moves here. And then everybody thinks that Jax and Brittany are so good together. And then all of a sudden, a recording comes out that he hooked up with this girl that also works at SUR.
And they have a housewarming party at their new apartment, and Brittany, like, puts this recording on the loudspeaker, and she's like, just so everybody knows, this is what happened. And it's just... Because
it was pretty much Jax saying...
heinous stuff about Brittany.
Yes. Just, like horrible things.
He would never have kids with her. He doesn't want to have a life with her. He doesn't want to have sex with her. Like, just these terrible things that you are saying about your partner to somebody else.
After he just moved her across the country. And got her a boob job. He paid for her boob job. First of all, I just want to say how ridiculous that was to watch that go down. Like, she was like, I want just, like, I don't know what she said, like what size she wanted.
Like, just D's, I think. Just like regular D's.
Yeah. And he was like double D's.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm paying for them, so you get what I want.
Oh.
Bro.
Toxic man energy.
Yes. That made me sick to watch. And they talked about it on the reunion, too. Like, well, I got what I wanted.
Yeah, I paid for them.
Disgusting. But, like, I feel for Brittany, because everything that I've ever heard come out about Brittany is she is the kindest person, and she's just so sweet. And everything we've ever heard about Jax is he is the exact opposite.
He is evil to his girlfriends.
Yeah. He's not a very good boyfriend.
No.
And no matter what, like, he can tattoo your name on him and he will still fuck you over.
As he did. And then he also got Stassi and Carmen's face. And again, and I think he got Carmen's name tattooed on him too. Yeah.
Insane. He's insane. God, what is gonna, what is the Valley gonna be?
I don't know. We started this podcast and we're like, we're not watching it. We're watching it. So.
We're watching it.
Yeah.
Premieres the 19th. That is next Tuesday.
My schedule's getting full. I've got Vanderpump. I've got The Valley. I've got Summer House, which you need to watch so that we can talk about. But
yeah, I need to catch up. So I got to catch up on these books, and then when I catch up on these books, I'll catch up on Summer House.
We're so busy.
We are, and then we have to catch up on work.
We're so busy. Somebody send help.
Yeah. Well, to go into like, you know, off of cheating, Ariana's new album is really good.
And, you know, I said I didn't really like Ariana, and I'm not a huge Ariana Grande fan. I'm just not. But, like, even her music, I'm just not a huge fan. But, her album is not bad. Mm-hmm. We Can't Be Friends is probably my favorite one. I really get down to that song. It's very sad, too, but I like it.
Yes.
So, sad. Yeah.
I Wish I Hated You is also a really sad one.
See, I don't think I've listened to that one.
You gotta listen to that one. That one's good.
Yeah.
And Eternal Sunshine, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's a bop. That was something that I had the window thrown down today, blasting through the speakers down the road, because it's so good.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's about Mac Miller. I think Mac Miller is tied into a lot of this album, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's her processing a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of processing being done in this.
Yeah. She has a lot to process, so as she should.
Yeah. Which, I mean, speaking of, like, songs that she's written about Mac Miller, Ghostin'. Did you listen to that song yet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really heartbreaking song.
It is, yeah.
It describes her in a relationship with Pete Davidson. Mm-hmm. And when she was in this relationship with Pete Davidson was when Mac Miller died. Mm-hmm. And was her grieving her ex while in a relationship with someone else, which I'm sure was very difficult for Pete to have to, like, witness her grieving. Right. And also, like, confusing her feelings. Mm-hmm. Just all around.
Just a hard situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Homegirl's been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like she has a lot of trauma, and I wonder what led to her making bad decisions in relationships.
I mean, probably what leads us all into doing it. Some sort of validation or feeling some kind of need, you know?
Yeah. Because, I mean, I wish her nothing but the best in this new relationship. You know, maybe, like, some people can make it work, you know? Mm-hmm. And we don't fully know, obviously, like we said at the beginning, I mean, we don't know what went down in the relationship. Like,
right.
We've heard really one side, because she hasn't really talked about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one song that she did talk about it in was not a good look. Like, yes, and that's not a good look.
That's not a good look. Yeah. Don't do that, maybe.
Yeah, that's a little sticky. But, I mean, again, we don't know the situation. So.
Right. Yeah.
But what we do know is Jax. And Jax is shit.
This whole podcast is like, who are we to judge? We're judging a little bit, but who are we to judge?
Yeah. Who are we to judge?
Who are we to judge?
But we're going to judge Jax. And Sheena. Yeah. And Sandoval.
And Sandoval. Oh, 100%. Every time.
Which also in the trailer for Vanderpump Rules, like the extended trailer for the rest of this season, there's a clip of Jax going off on Sandoval. So Jax makes an appearance on Vanderpump. And he's going off on Sandoval.
Yeah.
And I love to see that, you know? But it's like, Josh pointed this out too. It's like they're the same person.
Yeah.
And they do the same things.
It's the blonde and the blonde here.
Yeah, like Jax yelling at Sandoval is just like pot, meat, fucking kettle. Are you kidding me? You do the same thing, Jax. It always goes back to the Vanderpump people.
It always goes back to them.
Well, here's one thing.
Always a full circle.
Yeah. I mean, here's one topic that we can go into that, like, there's no way it can lead back to Vanderpump. Actually, know what? You know what? It can, because Lisa Vanderpump is British. Oh my God.
It can.
Anyways,
it can.
What the hell is going on with Kate Middleton?
Okay, so I just saved the story just now. Kate Middleton's Photoshop fail reportedly had at least 16 editing mistakes that experts could see.
Wow. So for those of you who are new to this story and haven't heard, You live under a rock. You haven't heard this.
Yeah.
Kate Middleton underwent surgery back a couple months ago. And it was reported that it was abdominal surgery, and she wouldn't make a reappearance again until after Easter. We know Easter hasn't happened yet, but Prince Charles, King Charles now actually, has undergone surgery as well, and cancer diagnosis, all this stuff, has been very open with talking to the British media, and we've seen him, but we haven't seen Kate.
Yeah.
And then all of these like rumors started flying around the internet that Kate was no longer with us, or they're hiding Kate, or you know, some huge conspiracy.
They got a divorce. Her and William got a divorce, and they don't want us to know. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like all these conspiracies like flying around. So to try to stop it, someone called Backgrid. I don't know who called Backgrid. It could have just been like some insider that was just like, hey, hang out around Windsor Castle today. And they caught a picture of Kate and her mom in the car driving. And then like, they were like, I feel like the British or the royal family was just kind of like, okay, this is going to hush these rumors because you see her. But then people were just like, that's not Kate.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay. All right then. So that didn't stop it. So then they posted another picture, and then in this picture, the AP posted it, and then the AP came back and was just like, actually, this is a kill notice because this photo has been altered, and we don't post altered photos. And this isn't just like minor Facetune alterations. Like this is a full, like they were like, we don't care if you edit it and like color grade it and all that stuff. They were just like, but this is fully altered.
Yeah. Yeah. And a kill notice on the media stuff does not happen very often. Like it does, it hardly ever happens.
Yeah. So for whoever posted this in the royal family, like whoever thought that this was okay to post, because it's really
you're fired
bad.
Now you're fired. If you want a job,
it's horrible.
We're hiring for therapists where I work. So
yeah, maybe come be a therapist.
Maybe come be a therapist because you're not really great at editing photos.
Yes, it's not good.
And then they said that she came out and she addressed it, and her version of addressing it was like, I'm a amateur photographer who was just like doing some light editing. Sorry. And it's like you said, no, it's not like you're putting an Instagram filter on it. Like these are like edits of like the length of her arms. She wasn't wearing a wedding ring in that picture. She's supposed to be still married. So like there's things that are wrong with it.
Yeah. Like her hair, but someone did like they like turned everything down, and the gradient was just like completely different. Like her head from like here up, and then her other kid's head that was right here. It was not, they were like, this is not the same picture.
Yeah.
And they tried to say that Prince William took the picture.
Where is Kate Middleton? Kate Middleton, where are you? Show yourself.
Where are you?
I'm concerned.
We want to know.
Just want to make sure you're okay.
Yeah. I wonder, I mean, I feel like maybe she had some kind of like serious abdominal surgery, and she just like doesn't want to come out in the media right now. Like she's recovering, and maybe it's like a longer recovery process. But also on the same coin, they did say that she wasn't going to make a reappearance until Easter, and Easter hasn't happened yet.
I also heard maybe her and William got a divorce, and they don't want anybody to know. To which I say, royal family, we're in 2024. Nobody gives a shit if you all get a divorce anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Like, I don't know. I don't live in the UK, so maybe they care. I don't care. I don't care if y'all get a divorce. Whatever. So, like, I know that, like, when Princess Diana and Charles did it, it was obviously, like, a bigger thing. And it shouldn't have even been that big of a thing back then. Whatever. Yeah. We'll talk about Princess Diana probably eventually. Mm-hmm. But I feel like just nobody cares anymore if you all get a divorce. But would that make it to where he can't be king anymore if he gets a divorce? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. No, because Charles is king.
Charles is king, yeah.
Yeah, so why do we care? You know?
It's all, the royal family is like confusing and full of conspiracies and like just all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. But
we could do like a whole episode topic on the royal family.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't cover everything.
And like the mental health of, because Harry's talked about his mental health. Mm-hmm. Diana talked about her mental health and like she had an eating disorder. Mm-hmm. There was just a lot. Mm-hmm. Like she attempted suicide multiple times. Mm-hmm. According to her, like she attempted suicide one time in front of the queen, and the queen like walked away.
Yeah,
which is insane.
It's insanity. Yeah, it's so like I feel like that the royal family, not the UK, but the royal family is so like slow to progress. Like they're like behind the rest of the world in progression.
I want to add this in too. I'm gonna like. This is about Jax and Brittany. So like just the mental health of Brittany, of being in such a toxic relationship. Like I want her out now. If he is like, the rumors are saying that he doesn't like her because she's gained weight. Like he's not attracted to her because she's gained weight.
Yeah.
If that is true, the mental health of that girl needs to take precedence right now, and she needs to get the hell out. And
get out. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like she has, because I think that she's like moved into her own place and everything. So
you just don't ever want to show your kids that's like, you don't obviously want to be like in a toxic relationship just for you, but like when there's kids involved, you don't want to show them that that's what relationships are supposed to look like, because they're not. Like it's not supposed to look like that.
It's not. And when you want to grow old with someone, you're not going to look the same as you did when you were 22 years old. So that's where you have to love the person that you're in a relationship with, and you want to make it work with this person. You want to grow with this person. You want to like that's why it's like growing old with someone. Like obviously old people don't look the same that they did when they were 22 years old. Like you're not going to be the same size forever. Like that's so unrealistic to have that standard.
That's why I think that like I stand behind, like I've heard multiple therapists talk about this, but like love is a choice. Like it's a choice that you make every single day of like, no matter how this person shows up, no matter like what changes, what storm that they're weathering, I'm going to be there. And obviously like there's feelings involved in that, but like it's a choice that you're making. And obviously again, if there's toxic things, we can't just stay in that just because we're choosing love over. I'm not saying that love conquers everything or whatever. What I am saying is that if you're choosing to be in a relationship with somebody, that needs to be like you're choosing that person. And then when you stop choosing them, you need to go ahead and get out respectfully, not cheat. I'm not saying that that's what he did, but that's what he has a history of doing. You know, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the Valley will provide some insight.
Yeah, I hope it does. And I think there's a very, like, there has to, for someone to cheat as often as Jax does and in every single relationship that he has ever had, there is some kind of pathological reason why he's doing it.
And we've seen him go to therapy a couple of times, but I don't think he ever like goes long enough to make progress. I think that he'll go a couple of times and then we kind of see him like not go anymore, you know?
Yeah. Well, you see him with that, was it like a Reiki person? Like he was doing Reiki for a little bit, and he was like trying to improve his mental health, but then you see him hitting on her. And it's just kind of like that is so inappropriate. And then he stopped doing that because obviously I think like Brittany saw that too of like, you're literally hitting on this person.
Yeah. He needs
growing.
He needs like DBT therapy with like a male therapist. That's what he needs. Like very structured, hardcore therapy with a male therapist. That's what he needs. If I had to break
I don't think he can sit in front of a woman and have a deep emotional talk with like a therapist, because I mean in therapy like you have emotional talks obviously and you get very deep with someone and you open up emotionally. In some ways, like for some people, like that's the most emotional connection that you've ever had with a person. And there have been like obviously in past like people have gotten feelings for their therapists and all of this stuff because of that reason.
It's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon, but also like that's where I say like Jax does this with every single person, like every single woman, and then he like tries to stick his dick in her. So like
he definitely has some like from the outside looking in, it looks like that he has some like there's a sex intimacy emotional breakage there that like he feels like that every deep relationship and when I say intimate, I don't mean sex, but like he feels like every intimate relationship that he has, because we have intimate relationships with our friends, we have intimate relationships with our therapists, you know, but he feels like that all those relationships have to be physical, romantic, sexual relationships, you know, and that's a problem.
Yeah, and I think that's why he cheats all the time. And I feel so bad for Brittany because Brittany does not deserve that. And I feel like she has built such a good support system, though, in LA. And I'm so happy for her in that regard. But hey, Brittany, if you ever want to move back to Kentucky,
we'll be your friends.
We'll be your friends.
We're not going to say out loud on here where exactly we are in Kentucky, but like if you want to hit up the DMs, we'll tell you where to move to.
Do you want to move on to Taylor Swift?
Oh.
Okay. So on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so 8 p.m. Central time,
6 p.m. Pacific,
6 p.m. Pacific.
She has pointed out a lot, but
which is weird because she always goes off of Eastern time.
I'm delusional, but go ahead.
Yeah. So Taylor is releasing the Eras Tour on Disney Plus. It's about 3 hours long. So why does she want everyone to be watching the Eras Tour at midnight on Thursday?
Also, here's my thing as well. It was supposed to come out on Friday. You moved it to Thursday.
Yep.
Why are we moving it? What's going on Friday that we couldn't have it on Friday? Because would it not make more sense to have people staying up on a Friday? Also, she keeps saying 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Her sixth album. Wait, is it her sixth album?
Yes.
Is Reputation. No explanation, just Reputation.
And she keeps doing the two. Like, the two is weird. So some people are predicting that maybe she's dropping the single, like a single for Tortured Poets Department. But she hasn't dropped a single for an album before the release in a very long time. I don't know. There's a lot of things that, like, the two could be that she is releasing the second song on the Tortured Poets Department, which is the title track.
Yeah.
She could be releasing that. Or, I don't know. She could be releasing Reputation.
Or we're getting 2 albums, which is like best case scenario.
Yeah. I don't know. But there's also...
We're all clowns at this point.
We are. I just... Every time that something happens, everybody's like, okay, Reputation, Taylor's version is coming. And then I get really excited. And I've stopped getting excited about Reputation because I'm like, okay, I'm just going to live in this moment of the Tortured Poets Department and
I'm going to be the present.
That's what's coming and not clown for Reputation because I keep getting my heart broken.
The last time I said I wasn't going to, I was like, I'm not even buying into any of this. And then too many things added up. And then she did announce a song from Tortured Poets Department, or a new vinyl. It wasn't a song with an additional song on it, but she announced the vinyl for Tortured Poets department, and I was like, again, she got me again.
Yeah, she keeps doing that. Obviously, Reputation is my favorite album. I'm wearing a Reputation era's shirt. So, obviously we love some Reputation over here.
We're Reputation girls. Lover and Reputation, stark opposite. Well, not really, because Reputation's also a love album, but whatever. Well, maybe we should deep dive on all of her albums and the lore of it all. But like, Lover and Reputation, stark differences in like how they look and their aesthetic. Both very much me. So
yes,
they're my top 2 albums. Like they're my 2 favorite albums.
Friends and family members that ask all the time, you know, like, why are you so obsessed with all of this stuff? Like, this is my self-care. This is my how I turn my brain off from therapy and the craziness that goes into being a therapist at times. And this is my self-care. It's like concerts and music and just clowning about all of this stuff. Like, it's how I turn my brain off.
It's how we turn our brains off. 100%. People love to hate just because they love to hate. She's easy. She's an easy target for people to hate on because she's such a hot button celebrity right now. You can't listen to her music and tell me that it's not good in some way. The production of it, the lyrics, like, you can't tell me, like, her lyrics are so good, you know?
Yeah. They're so good. They're so, you know, I was talking to my therapist about this today because obviously, like, music and concerts are a huge part of my self-care and, like, have always been a huge part of my life. And just getting to, like, scream sing songs that you've listened to with, like, a room full of people and that artist themselves is so therapeutic and so nice. And also, when you have all these thoughts and all these feelings, but you verbally can't, or you personally can't express them. And then someone writes a song and you're
it
like,
makes sense all of a sudden.
Holy shit, this is exactly how I'm feeling. You know, there's so many artists that I listen to now that do that for me. And Taylor Swift is the number one person that does that.
Yeah. And people say that she just writes breakup songs, and you don't listen to enough Taylor Swift if you think that she only writes breakup songs, because she doesn't. There's so many situations that she's written about that, like, almost everything that you're going through, you can find something to relate. You can find a Taylor Swift song for it, you know? And you're right, like, I get so, like, no matter what concert I go to, I get very, like, emotional at. Before COVID happened, I went to the Backstreet Boys, and I don't know what I expected, but it was, like, top tier. Like, it was so good and so fun. And I went with my 2 best friends. I got emotional at the freaking Backstreet Boys concert because I'm, like, sitting here, and 90% of this audience are, like, 20s and 30-year-old people, you know, 25 to 30, who grew up with the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
And here we all are at a Backstreet Boys concert, you know, and I'm there with my 2 best friends. Like, it's wild. And so, like, it makes you feel so connected to people around you, to the music, to the artist. Like, it makes you just feel, period, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a good feeling too. You know, I felt that way, the same way at the Jonas Brothers concert too, especially when the first time I saw them, which was 2021. Yeah. And I went with my best friend. And when they first came out, I remember just, like, being like, holy shit, that's the Jonas Brothers. This is a band that I have been listening to for, like, 14 years now, and watched them, like, grow up, and they've grown up with me, and they've written all this music that I can still remember just blasting when I was, like, 10 and 11 years old, and aggravating the absolute hell out of my parents. You know? Like, there was so much emotion that came out of me just from seeing them, like, walk out on stage, and then seeing all of their songs that I've been listening to for that long. Yeah. Like, it just takes you back to your childhood for a minute.
It does. And the Backstreet Boys did like a part of like a song where they showed their families now. So like they showed their kids. And you just think about it and you're like, I was 7 years old listening to this song, and now they have kids, you know, because they were also just in their teens or their 20s at that point, and they have kids now. And they talked a lot in their concert about like, we feel like that we have grown up with our fans, and so it's only fair that we show you like this part of our lives. And they were sold out. There was thousands of people there, and it was just a personal thing. And I don't know, music is the same way for me. Like, there's not a moment of silence in my life, because if I'm not like talking to somebody or doing something, I have Spotify playing all the time.
Yeah.
In the car, on the way to work, on the way home from work, when I'm home by myself, when I'm cleaning, when I'm just existing, I have Spotify on, listening to something, you know?
Yeah, because music is such a good, relaxing tool. This is kind of like talking about the effects of music and the brain. So engaging in music has been shown to facilitate neuroplasticity, therefore positively influencing quality of life and overall functioning. Research has shown that music activates cognitive, motor, and speech centers in the brain through accessing neural systems.
Boom.
So
that's science.
Music can affect a client's attention, emotion, cognition, behavior, and communication. And it can also bring relaxation and pleasure.
And music, I think, because it does all of those things, can be like a tool in therapy. You know, first of all, they have music therapy. But like even in groups, like I did a group this past week on gratitude. And one of the questions that we went through was like, what is a song that, you know, you think of and it's special to you? And hearing all of like my group members like songs that were like special to them and why, you could see it on their face and kind of going back to that memory that was special to them. And then in the same token, you know, we work in substance abuse, or you used to work in it and I work in it. Music can be triggering for that, because it pulls our brains in such a way that if people listen to a certain kind of music when they used, that can be a trigger for them to use again, because that's how powerful music can be.
Yeah. It also triggers the like limbic system, which is where you process emotions, and that controls your memory. That's where your memory center is.
Exactly. So it's in all of those very important parts of your brain for emotional connection.
Yeah. And I remember I used to do this with my substance use groups. We used to talk about, probably similar to what you did, but we used to say like, what's a song that reminds you of your recovery and that has helped you in the recovery process?
Right.
And while I'm not an addict, people would still ask me like, well, what's a song that you listen to like when you need like a mental lift? So I always go to songs kind of like, I mean, we've talked about this imposter syndrome. Like I have an imposter syndrome playlist. And one of the top song on my imposter syndrome playlist is Dear Reader by Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Which is where we got our like episode title a few weeks back. So like we connected to it. Yes. It's so good.
What's a song that you always go to?
I knew you were going to ask me. And this is a really sad one. I am very much a process sadness through music person. Okay, so we're just going to throw that out there first. The first time that I listened to Folklore and I heard This Is Me Trying, I sobbed.
I played that for a group once.
Oh, it's so good. And again, never use drugs and never use alcohol or abuse drugs or alcohol. But something about like, I'm doing the best that I can. And sometimes that does not feel like it's enough. And I think that's a universal feeling for everybody at some point. But Dear Reader and This Is Me Trying, if you all haven't listened to them, go and listen to them because you all will understand.
Dear Reader is kind of just like I feel like it's a sister song to This Is Me Trying. I really do.
Yeah.
It's it's very similar, like, vibes all around, that kind of, like, ethereal feeling like you're floating type of music in it. And the lyrics in it hit so hard. I mean, just, like, starting out, like, I've been having a hard time adjusting.
Yeah.
I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting.
Yeah. Please. Are you writing about me? Just say it. And my crying picked up, when I hit the bridge.
Oh, like, my gosh. Because the music just, like, builds and it, like, takes you up.
Yes. It's hard to be at a party when you feel like an open wound. Please.
Stop.
Yeah. It's so
my fourth drink in my hand, these desperate prayers of a cursed man.
Oh.
Stop.
We can't. Listen, Taylor Swift's lyrics, the 10-minute version of All Too Well.
Yeah.
I will say this until I die. You live an entire relationship when you listen to that song.
Yeah. It's such a good song.
Through the music, through the lyrics, everything.
Yeah. It also, take it back to Dear Reader for a second.
Yeah, we're going back to Dear Reader.
This is, like, why it is the imposter syndrome song. It's like, you should find another guiding light, but I shine so bright.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
It's so sorry.
It always goes back to Dear Reader.
It always goes back to Dear Reader. You know, another one that, like, I did not really listen to a ton until she was on tour. But now I listen to it and I could just die. You're right. So I listen to it now and I just, like, can't. Is My Tears Ricochet.
Oh my god, it's so good.
And her performance of it on tour is just, like, the most theatrical, heart-wrenching. It's one of my favorite ones from her show.
Yeah. Yeah, that also explains, like, how I felt a year ago leaving my job, too. Like, I didn't have it in myself to go with Grace.
Oh, I need to get that tattooed on myself, because no matter what situation Autumn is leaving, a job, a relationship, anything, she's not going with Grace. just know that. Just know we're not going with Grace at all.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's lyrics tattooed on me, but I don't know. That's like a big plunge, and I really want to make sure that they're the right ones, you know?
And, you know, I mean, speaking of Olivia Rodrigo, because I was at her concert this weekend, you know, The Grudge has such a meaning to me, and I won't go into the meaning. If you know me,
you know the meaning.
If you know me, you know the meaning. But it has such a personal meaning for me, and she played it. When I tell you, I was like, can I just, like, have a second?
Yes. I need a minute.
It was,
Same.
It hits. And music hits different too, I think, like, when you hear it in person, like, and you hear it live.
Does. Yeah.
Like, Tolerate It. Honestly, Tolerate It. Why does it always go back to Taylor? It literally always goes back to Taylor.
Always goes back to Taylor. But
Tolerate It live, I think, is something that everyone needs to experience.
Oh my gosh. Yes. And you know what? I feel like that when you go to a concert, it's like a group therapy session. Because then you feel like that this person who you don't even know next to you also feels the same way and has also been in a situation where they feel like that they're intolerated. And it's a connecting thing. But on the other hand, like, all these are, like, really sad Taylor songs. But, like, also, I'm gonna say, is in a recent time of mine, I sang Karma a lot on the way to work one day. And she came. Karma came. So, I also feel like I connect with those songs, too, you know, that are, like, the ones that are happier sounding, you know, Bejeweled. You know, just listening to the lyrics of that, yeah, they're upbeat, happy songs, but like I feel something.
Like also like the lyrics of Bejeweled is kind of just like, yes, it's a very upbeat, like very poppy, like you know, very dancey song, but also like the lyrics of Bejeweled are kind of cutthroat. Like she's kind of just like this person that I love and I adore is making me feel smaller and trying to like tear me down. So I'm going to get rid of this person and I'm going to be like, you know what? I think I've been too good of a girl.
Yeah.
So all the extra credit and got graded on a curve.
I think it's time to teach some lessons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So like she's literally just like, I'm going to get rid of this person that is no longer being a support system for me.
Yeah.
If you don't support me, bye, get out of my life. Like it's such a good song and it's so cutthroat.
And I feel like Karma is the same way because Karma's like, she said that, okay, I keep my side of the street clean. That's something that I've heard in the recovery space.
Yeah.
So many times. And how many times do we want to retaliate on somebody and you're just like, no, I've got to keep my side of the street clean, you know? Yeah. And she almost describes karma as like this thing that hunts people down.
And like, you don't even have to be the hunter. Like, it's just, it's going to get you.
It's going to get you. So, and also since we're talking about reputation, or since we were, this is why you can't have nice things. Why we can't have nice things.
Banger.
Talk about cutthroat. And literally. I think that she, like in that song, she uses like childlike metaphors. And I almost think that that's cutthroat because it's almost like, I'm going to talk to you like you're a kid. If you're going to act like a kid. Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly what it is. Like, and you see that like in the live performance too, like on the Reputation Stadium tour, she's like throwing like a tantrum and stuff, you know? And it's like, she's doing that on purpose. Like, because it is a childish thing. Like he did a childish fucking thing.
Right.
For those of you who don't know, obviously it's about Kanye.
It's about Kanye West. Yeah.
Like, he did a childish thing. Like, who the hell records someone? And they had like worked through their issues, which she did not have to forgive him for what he did.
Yeah.
And she did. And they worked through it and they got past it. And she was so supportive of him. And then he just went and fucked it up.
And she said, so I took an axe to him in defense.
Yep.
We love you, Taylor. We need to call this actually like yapping about Taylor.
Actually, we're just going to yap about Taylor for an hour.
Yap about Taylor.
All right. So we're going to do our intentions for the week, and then we're going to wrap it up and have some dinner and wine and watch Vanderpump.
What's your intention?
My intention for the week is to get outside every single day and enjoy the sunshine and wear sunscreen. So I put on sunscreen today before I went to see my therapist, and I was pale as a ghost. I was like, I'm sorry I look so pale. I put sunscreen on, and obviously I didn't rub it all the way in. It's fine.
So, it's fine.
It's fine, but yeah, that's my intention for the week. Get outside, walk around, and just feel the sunshine.
Good intention. I like it.
So what's yours?
Mine is to survive. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I am doing EMDR therapy tomorrow. No, Thursday for my first processing session. So my intention is just to like take it easy on myself when that happens because EMDR is very intense for anyone who's not done it. It's a very intense thing. So I'm going to be nice to myself. No, I'm not taking the day off.
Like Friday. Are you taking Friday off?
No, I was just off last Thursday and Friday. But I am like going to do it in my home, in the comfort of my home, and not at work.
So you can just like, pass out after.
Yeah, I can just like go because it's very mentally draining. So yeah. So that's my intention, is just to be nice to myself through that process.
Yes, be as kind as you can, and rest afterwards. Don't even like look at your phone or the world. Yeah. After.
Yeah. Just hang out with Max.
So I hope you guys enjoyed our Yap session. And we will see y'all next week. Check out our Instagram. Follow us on there.
Yep.
We have a new logo, so check that out.
New logo, new us.
Yeah. And we will be back next week with an episode, probably longer and more in depth, talking about stuff. So if you want to know what we're talking about, we always give sneak peeks on Instagram. So that's why you should go follow us.
Yep. Go follow us.
Yeah. And don't forget to leave a review and like the podcast. So we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.